Good morning, everybody, and welcome to What's Real in Real Estate. I am Ellie Morris with Signature Real Estate Group, and I'm excited. We got a great guest on today, Cari Byers. I'm real excited for you to meet Cari. We're going to get to that in a minute. First, Cari, not that. That's not we're going to get to that in a minute. We're going to get to Cari in a minute. I want to first go through our numbers with you guys. I got to tell you, we're going in the right direction. Inventory, as pathetic as it is going up every week. This morning I saw that we were at 2,269 listings, single-family residential listings. And in the last 7 days, we sold 673 homes, which equates to about 28, almost 2,900 for the month, which means we're getting real close to having a month's worth of supply. Now, when you consider we had only a week worth of supply a while ago, this is great. It's still a long way from normal, but we're getting close. We're getting close. Have 629 townhomes and condos, 53 manufactured homes waiting for you to come take a look at. And hey, we're open 100% here in Las Vegas now. Tuesday we got isn't that great? 100%. And so get out there, and we're going to talk about Cari's show in just a minute. I want to remind everybody, if you can make it out here Sunday at Custom Jacks in Henderson. VA Reps Poker Run. That's this Sunday, 9 o'clock. Kickstands up at 10 o'clock. They're going from Custom Jacks to the Las Vegas Harley Davidson shop on Las Vegas Boulevard, then out to the Pioneer Saloon, the Home Run Bar and Grill, and we're ending up the Leatherneck Club down near Chinatown. So it's going to be a great, great, great time. Hopefully you can come by and support our veterans. All right, I'm excited. I got Cari Byers here. Cari and I just met maybe 6 months ago, a year, whenever, on Facebook. I mean, on Zoom.
Zoom, yeah.
Probably
a year ago.
About a year ago.
Yeah.
Through Chamber Connections. And just so glad to have you here. Really appreciate it. Cari is the owner of Premier Showgirls. And just tell everybody a little bit about you, where you're from, and a little bit about Cari.
Okay, I'm Cari Byers. I'm the owner of Premier Showgirls, like Ellie said. I'm originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I left Albuquerque to attend Arizona State University, where I received a Bachelor's of Arts in Dance. Then I traveled a little bit and danced, and I ended up here in Las Vegas a little over 20 years ago, dancing in Folie Bergère. I danced there until it closed for about 12 years. Then I bounced around for a while, and I ended up taking over a company that I'd worked for called Premier Showgirls about 7 years ago. And I book showgirls for all types of events, corporate events, trade shows, meetings, birthday parties, weddings, you name it.
That's great.
Poker run.
Yeah. Poker run. There you go. It's perfect. Everybody loves to have a picture taken with a showgirl.
Of course.
I mean, that is Las Vegas personified, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't come to Vegas and come to a trade show without taking a picture with a showgirl.
No. So I got some pictures of me and Oscar, because he always had a showgirl.
Oh, he always had the showgirls,
yeah,
yep.
Yeah. How did you get into the showgirl business? Because you were a dancer, and then how did the showgirl thing come about?
Well, showgirls, there's a height requirement for showgirls. Showgirls have to be 5'9" and over, depending on the show. Some shows are stricter and it's 5'10" and over. Follies was 5'10". So showgirls are trained dancers. They're just on the taller side.
Okay.
So showgirls have to be tall.
Okay. They are tall.
Yes.
I think I told you when I met you. I saw Cari on Zoom, and she fit into the box just fine. And here's this cute little girl there, and I meet her, and she's, you're what, 6?
I'm just over 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just surprised. I didn't know why. I knew she was in the showgirl business, but it just, hey, I'm not that bright, It takes me a while to figure things out.
But if you're not in the business, you don't know that showgirls are
right. No,
tall.
You're right about that. But it's cool, man. So tell me, you've got a show. Let's talk about your show.
Yeah, I have a show running. It's BurlesQ. It runs at Alexis Park Thursdays through Sundays, 9:30. And it's kind of your typical old school burlesque show.
Oh, okay.
We have a great host, Shawnee Cooper, and we have a couple specialty acts. April Brooker comes in, and then we have 6 beautiful girls that dance and sing and do burlesque.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
And you said it's at 9:30 Thursday through Sunday.
Correct. Yep.
And they get tickets anywhere?
Ticketkite.com has tickets. That's probably the best place. Vegas.com has tickets.
Ticket Kite.
Ticket Kite.
Kite.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Can they get them right at the Alexis Park?
They can, but it's risky. We've been selling out.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fantastic.
And because of the restrictions, they can't oversell still.
Okay.
So it's risky to want to buy your tickets.
Well, you were telling me last night was the first show with no masks.
No masks. The dancers didn't have to wear masks. Audience members weren't wearing masks. It was like a whole different show. You could see their faces. It was great.
How long has the show been running?
We opened December 18th.
Oh, this past December 18th.
Yeah, in the middle of COVID.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. Now, when I first came to town here in 2005, I used to visit a lot. I knew about the Folies Bergère and Jubilee. And was there another one, or were those the two?
Enter the Night had Showgirls and Splash had Showgirls.
Splash, that's right. And they're almost all gone now. What happened?
Well, right now, our show is kind of the
You're the
only
only one.
show with real showgirls.
What happened to the show? I mean, everybody loved the Showgirls. It was a Vegas icon. Why did it go away, you think?
It's complicated. Most of those old school showgirl shows were owned and run and produced by the casinos. With Cirque coming in and all those shows, they do what call a four-wall, which they rent the space. So it's guaranteed income for the casinos, and it's kind of easier to do that, just rent the space to them, than run their own show.
I see.
And those shows are extremely expensive. Like you have no idea what goes on backstage with those big, massive costumes. There's a whole crew of there's wardrobe and costumes and lights and sound and tech guys running the sets on and off stage. So they're astronomically expensive to run, those big showgirl shows.
So that was
and a huge cast.
It was a huge cast, and that was the demise of them.
Yeah.
I was really sad when the last one closed. I guess it was Jubilee was the last one.
Jubilee was the last one that closed, yeah.
It was just like if them were to tell us no more Elvises in Vegas, even though I can't stand Elvis in Vegas. But it's, again, one of those things you expect when you come to Las Vegas.
It's iconic to Las Vegas, the
Yeah.
showgirl. They're on the signs, they're on the marketing.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I've seen Oscar at so many events that always had a showgirl and a martini
Yeah.
with them. That's just Vegas.
It is Vegas.
Well, I'm glad you've got this show going on. I'm going to bring my wife down next week, and we'll have to check it out. 'Cause
Yeah.
that would be cool, man. I love an old burlesque show.
It's an old burlesque show.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is great. That is
All the
fantastic.
girls have their own little personality and their own little shtick. And
Oh, that's great. Now, how is it different, the showgirl business today, than it was 20 years ago when you got here? Or how different are the showgirls, or whatever you think is it? There's got to be something different
well,
today.
first of all, there's no showgirl shows for us to work in. Like when I came to town, I came down to 97, 98. There was a plethora, well, not a plethora, but there were several shows I could be in. I could have been in Follies, I could have been in Jubilee, I could have been in Splash. And Enter the Night, they all had showgirl lines, which was 5'9", 5'10", and over. Now there's not a single show that has that height requirement and has those big, massive costumes. And so most of the showgirls I work with freelance now, and they
Yeah.
just do gigs like the ones I do with Premier Showgirls,
Okay.
corporate events, trade shows.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's.
So-
It is a shame. It is a shame because
It
it was a
is.
great part of Las Vegas. Great part of Las Vegas. See, I went blank. I had a question for you. When you're over 40, and I'm way over 40, you tend to forget things. So, all right, we'll come back to that. The showgirls have vanished from the script.
Yeah. Well, there's there's those wanderers up and down the strip, but those aren't real showgirls.
No, what do they call those again? The street
They're-
performers?
They're street performers, or the technical term is buskers.
Busker.
Buskers, yeah. But
What is a busker?
That's somebody that takes photos for tips, or it's kind of technically performance art
Okay.
for tips.
Now, Don Arden, that name
Yes.
was a big name with Jubilee, right?
Jubilee, he produced and conceived several different shows through many years in Vegas and in Reno. He had a big show in Reno.
Is he gone?
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay. There was another show. I think I read I think maybe the first showgirl show was Minsky's
Minsky's Burlesque.
Burlesque. Yeah. Where was
Yeah.
that?
He had shows all up and down the strip, several shows for years
That was
too.
in the 50s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
before
well,
Jubilee.
that was before Jubilee, and the showgirls started to come because the original Showgirls came from France. Yeah, like our show, Folie Bergère, was originally a French show, and they brought it over in 1959. The Tropicana did.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I would just have to assume that because people are, not all of them, but there are a lot of jerks out there. And I gotta believe these showgirls get a lot of abuse from the audience. No?
No.
Good. Okay.
No, and especially like in trade shows and corporate events and stuff like that. Yeah, there is a hecklers once in a while, but you also have to think the girls I work with are my height, about 6 foot tall. We're in 3-inch heels, and we're wearing big, massive costumes. We're kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
We're kind of intimidating. So it's very rare that I have an issue at an event, or and at the show, of course, it's a 9:30 show. Like, once in a while, there's somebody who's drank too much.
One too many. Yeah.
One too many and decides to heckle. But I do have to say that Sean, our host, is amazing with dealing with those people.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to. So those are great shows. Those are just great, fun shows.
It's a fun show.
You have comedians?
Yeah, Sean.
Oh, he's a comedian. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, has Sean been around in Vegas for a while?
Sean has been around forever. He's been in Vegas 20-some years. Yeah.
Oh,
and he's been in several shows up and down the Strip, and he's won awards for being Comedian of the Year.
Wow,
and
that's
stuff.
great. That is really cool. Now, you say you've been in the business a lot. You've been in the business over 20 years now.
Yeah.
The showgirl business.
Yeah.
When you first got in it, were there people that were resentful? Other people on the show that showgirls getting all the attention, and all they do is stand there and look beautiful, which they know they do a lot more than that.
No, not really. Like, I get Vegas has had showgirls for so long, and the shows that I dealt with had the showgirl lines for so long, and it's kind of like we're wearing these massive, heavy costumes. We are dancing. All of us were trained dancers. It's just with wearing those things that kind of impede your movement, we can't dance as much.
Yeah.
So they respected us. Like,
Okay,
the dancers respected us, and I don't think a lot of them wanted to wear those costumes.
How heavy are those head dressings?
My heaviest costume in Follies, I think the hat was 30 pounds.
Wow.
But the dress, it was a big Victorian dress for the can-can scene, so the dress was probably 40 pounds.
But they call it a hat?
Yeah, headdress.
And it's 30 pounds. It's like
30
two
pounds.
bowling balls on your head.
Yeah.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
Yeah, and that's kind of nothing compared to Jubilee. Some of those hats were probably 50 pounds.
Really?
Yeah, those are really massive.
Strong necks.
Yeah, big chiropractic bills too.
You must have seen some pretty weird weird things happen as a showgirl and in your business. Any interesting stories you can tell us?
I mean, I was in Follies at the beginning of the whole reality show thing, so we got to do some reality shows, and that was always kind of interesting. We did the one with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie.
Oh man, you're going back, yeah.
Yeah, and we were on the Surreal Life.
Oh, I remember that name of that.
With Brigitte Nielsen and Salt and Pepper. Now I'm totally blanking, but yeah. So those were kind of fun things we got to do.
Any scary moments?
Falling on stage.
Have you fallen?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh,
we've all fallen.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, fallen.
Hurts.
I'll bet. Yeah, because the opening and closing number had this huge mirrored staircase, so you're falling down mirrored stairs.
Oh man,
with a big hat on.
Yeah, I bet. Now, back, I think it was Jubilee, maybe it was both of them, had the topless review.
Yeah.
Did they both do that?
Mm-hmm.
That was the evening show? Did you ever get to go with that?
Yeah.
All right. So you've done it all, man.
Done it all. Well, that's the old school, showgirls are topless.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty standard.
That's pretty standard.
They tamed it down then for the earlier show. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that wasn't until, I don't think Follies did the first covered shows. The first show was covered, there was 2 shows a night, and the first show was covered. But I don't think they started doing that until the early 2000s.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and even in the 70s and 80s, they had, I think Friday or Saturday nights, they did 3 shows.
Wow.
Yeah, like a 2 a.m. show or something ridiculous.
Yeah, that's one thing. I was looking at on Facebook. I saw some vintage Vegas photos. It had a picture of Caesar's Palace and the marquee, and it was with Duke Ellington. And I can't think of the second person, another big name, at a 2 o'clock show, free.
Oh my God.
Duke Ellington for free.
Yeah, that's when the entertainment was probably considered a loss leader.
Yeah.
And they needed to write off losses for their taxes because they were just, making money hand over fist with gaming.
That's a big difference in the way it is today. You remember, Larry Birch from our group? Larry used to be a comptroller for Caesars.
Yeah.
And he told me that back when he first started there in '67, they didn't care if the restaurant made any money. It was the bottom line was the bottom line, but then the corporate people came in, and this restaurant had to make enough, and this boutique everything had to cover their own.
Yep.
And that was really the beginning of the changes in this town.
Yeah, because they really didn't care if the show made money either, because they would comp high rollers in and comp celebrities in, and it would bring people off the strip like into the casino to see the big fancy shows. They didn't, and if it lost money, they could write it off. But
Right.
It's a total different.
Yeah, Howard Hughes made a lot of those changes, didn't he, when he came to town?
I don't know if he's the one that started that whole every inch of the casino's got to make money.
It's unbelievable now how it is. And I don't know if you saw that the Stations Casino announced they're not bringing back their buffets.
No.
Yeah, they said they're done. They're not bringing them back. They're going to fill it up with food court or something. They're going to make something out of it. But I was thinking, they had a good buffet for $12-15, but that had a cost. That had to be a loser for them.
Oh, it has to be.
Yeah.
And especially now with all the protocols and health requirements, I can't imagine trying to run a buffet.
We still have them. That was it. $1.99 shrimp cocktail downtown. Did you see that?
Yeah.
At 3 o'clock. It's from like 3 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the morning. It's ridiculous. After that, it's like $4.90. I mean,
Of course.
Why even bother? Just
Yeah,
say we're not doing it and let it go. Oh, $3.99 or $1.90. I got to get up. I'll get up and get down there at 3 in the morning.
And the people that are up at 3 o'clock in the morning wanting a shrimp cocktail aren't going to enjoy a shrimp cocktail.
No. But I'm glad to see that we're back. The city's
Yeah.
back and vibrant and thriving, and downtown is bustling.
Yeah.
We got the Resorts World opening up at the end of this month.
That'll be exciting.
That should bring some
Yeah.
new light to the north end of the strip, which I think it needs badly.
Yeah.
It's real exciting to see Vegas coming back. I think I heard that there were almost 300,000 people came in for Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, I had friends working at the Venetian and said it was just wall-to-wall people.
Oh,
just
really?
packed.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is good to hear. Now, I'm reading that it's difficult for a lot of these businesses, restaurants, and some of the casinos to open up fully because they can't get help.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. They're people are still sitting at home,
The extra $300 is keeping
that
them
extra
from going back to work.
$300. Well, yeah, if you're making the same amount sitting at home, spending time with your family.
Is it difficult for you to get showgirls?
Yes, but not for the same reason. Yes, because a lot of them, dancers don't sit around very well, and we're used to hustling, especially like most of my showgirls, like I said, they're not in shows anymore. So the last several years, they've been hustling and working what we say freelance, which means you just work possibly 3 gigs in one day. So dancers and entertainers are used to hustling. So a lot of them got jobs. Like 3 of my showgirls went to real estate school and got real estate.
Oh, okay.
licenses. You know what I mean? One girl I used the other day is waiting tables. She works at a bar in the evening and works breakfast, lunch during the day. So yes, it's hard for me to get showgirls now because they've segued into other jobs and careers.
Sure. I understand there's also a real shortage for topless dancers now.
I don't know.
Yeah, there is.
At the
when
strip
they
clubs?
shut strip clubs, they can't get them because when they shut down, these gals had to go get work somewhere. So they went
because they were the last ones to be.
Yes, and so they went to get other fields, and now they're not coming back, and there's a shortage.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, there was an article in the paper about it a couple weeks ago.
I didn't know that.
And actually, I was driving on the 15 in Little Darling,
Yeah.
it's called. They had a sign advertising, "We need showgirls. Apply with it." Yeah. So, but the article supported the same thing.
Yeah.
They couldn't just wait around.
Yeah.
And they had to go get jobs, and they got jobs, and now they're coming back, and now there's a shortage of show
Yeah, don't call
dancers.
those showgirls.
No. Sorry, I almost did. Big mistake. But yeah, dancers shortage in Las Vegas of all places.
That's crazy. I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Okay.
yeah. So, yeah, COVID did mess everything up. It took everything backwards and crazy. And look, since we're real estate, I don't want to talk about right where you live. You do live in an older neighborhood.
Yes, I do.
It's a cool area.
Yeah.
Whereabouts generally is.
I live like DI, like Pecos and Eastern.
And these homes were built 30, 40 years ago.
Yep.
I
The
love those
60s,
old homes.
Yeah. Yeah, and we live kind of down the street from where some of the mobsters used to live, so that's pretty exciting.
That is cool. That is, yeah. If you haven't been out and taken a drive through some of these older neighborhoods, they've revived them. The classic. Are you in a ranch? One story?
No, it's a 2-story. It's very colonial, like Leave It to Beaver looking.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's funny. Because I remember I read, I wasn't here, but back in the 50s or early 60s, they built a lot of these California ranches.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big, big thing here.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the older home. Before I moved to Las Vegas, we always had homes. I think the newest home I ever had was from 1964. So I always liked the old homes back in Detroit. I always bought old, loved the character.
Yep.
Just
You're not right next door to your neighbor.
no, here that's definitely an issue.
Yeah. That's kind of why we bought our home in an older home in an older neighborhood, so we didn't have to look out our kitchen window and see our neighbors showering next door.
Yeah, you do. And if they cook something you don't like and it smells bad, it's right in your house because they are so close now. It really is pretty bad.
Crazy.
Well, let's talk about this. Is interesting. I always like to ask guests because especially you've been in town for a while.
Yeah.
You got any favorite restaurants?
Yeah, I like Casa de Amore down on Trop.
Yeah.
Like, that's an old school.
That's a great restaurant.
Old school hangout.
Is that the one that has a tiki bar in the back?
Yes.
Isn't
they do
that
now.
great?
Yeah, they did that like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like an old school show kids hangout.
Okay.
I like the Peppermill because it's another like
isn't-
classic Vegas.
Yeah, I'm glad that is still here. That is a
Oh,
great place to go
that is-
late at night. Got a little buzz on. It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
The proportions of
Huge.
their food, massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another show kids hangout. I like the Golden Steer.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
That's old school. I kind of
You
tend to
like
the
the
old
old-
school.
yeah.
Yeah. The whole Vegas thing is very enchanting and fascinating to me.
It is. So, Chris Bishop, our general manager, was on last week, and he was talking about the place in the Four Queen, Hugo's Cellar.
Hugo's, yes. Yes.
That's one of his favorite places. I've never been there. I've heard it's great.
Oh my God, you have to go.
Yeah.
And it's like the thing I like about those old school places is the service. Like the waitress and waitresses and the maitre d's are all dressed, and like it's just all about the service. It's, they have the towel on their arm and they make your salad at the table.
Yeah,
and
that's nice. That really is nice.
it's like at Hugo's, all the women get roses when you walk in. It's just
No, that is nice. That is classic Vegas. And I'm going to sound like an old fart now, but I can't help it. I noticed that service has gone away in the last many years. And I hate to say this. I got to say it, though. It seems like a lot of people under 50. I'm standing in a place waiting to get served, and the person behind the counter is talking to the person they're working with.
Or they're on their phone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, on the phone. But completely ignoring me. Like, I don't understand there. And I'm supposed to just wait there nice and politely and quietly while they shoot the breeze with a coworker.
no.
Or respond to a text on the phone. Yeah, so when you go somewhere and really get great service, you really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
How about favorite shows?
Like shows on the Strip? BurlesQ.
Of course, that's the best show on the Strip. Do you have any? Do you go to shows?
I try
I mean, people in
to.
the show, like the bus driver, doesn't. You don't want to go on a busman's holiday too often, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, and when I was in the show, it was really difficult. We worked 6 nights a week, so it was the last thing I wanted to do my one night off was to go see a show.
Yeah.
And I got really spoiled at comp tickets and never having to pay because a new show would open and they'd invite all the shows to come see the new show on their night off. So, like, I got really spoiled never having to pay to see a show.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But I do like, and I don't know if it's open yet, I like Zombie Burlesque. That's pretty funny. It's a great show. Vegas, the show isn't open yet, and that's a
That's a
old
variety
school-
show. Yeah.
It's an old school show. I haven't seen a lot. Absinthe is a great show.
I've always
Blue
heard
Man is a great
Blue
show.
Man's great. I've never been to Absinthe.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I've heard it's good. Yeah.
It's really good.
And they're back open too. Are you an outdoors gal?
Yes.
Vegas has a lot of great stuff to do outside.
Yeah.
People don't realize it. If they don't live here, they don't realize it, do
There's
they?
a lot of stuff to do.
Got
Yeah.
a favorite outdoor activity?
My new thing is we go paddling down. We go get the kayaks and paddle down at Willow Beach.
Oh, really?
So fun. I went with a bunch of showgirls last week.
I love Willow Beach. We go there a lot. It's a
Yes.
that's a nice little hidden gem.
It is a hidden gem.
Yeah, the water is frigid though, isn't it?
It is. But I'm sure in the heat of the summer it feels great.
We've gone various times, and it does seem like if we wait till August, it seems to be a degree or two warmer than it is in May or June.
Possibly, but our guide, because we took a tour with Blazing Paddles, so the
that's a good
guide
name.
told us, I know, isn't that cute? And the guide told us that the odd thing about that water, it's the same temperature all year long.
Oh, really? So I
Pretty
guess
much.
imagined it then.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, when it's 110 outside, 55 or whatever degree water does.
It's sure nice and clear and clean water, I'll tell
Yeah.
you that. So how long of a ride was it?
we just do like a 4-hour little half.
Is it real
to-
strenuous?
Not really.
No. Yeah, I'm going to try that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
I'll bet that's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
So now if somebody wants to rent a showgirl,
Yeah.
how do they get a hold of you?
Well, I'm on all the social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Premier Showgirls. I also have a website, premiershowgirls.com. And on there is my email, my phone number. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And are you looking for showgirls? More showgirls?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Not at this time. Once things really pick up and open up, I might be, but
I'm just glad you're open.
I,
That is
I've
exciting.
been open the whole time.
Yeah, I didn't realize, but I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now you're open. You're full capacity.
Well,
Pretty
yeah.
much so. Yeah. And no masks.
No masks.
Man, that's
Yeah.
great.
Hooray.
Well, I can't thank you enough for coming by.
Thanks for having me. This was a
Oh
blast.
yeah, this was fun. I really appreciate it. It's been great to get to knowing you,
Yeah.
and seeing you more and more in person.
In person.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, thanks again.
Thank you.
Anybody who wants to get a hold of Cari, please do. She's a great gal, runs a great business, and showgirls are the best. So thank you again, Cari. Beta,
Thank
thanks,
you.
man. See y'all later. Bye-bye.